All right, folks. Hey, good morning. Welcome on back here this Wednesday, 11/11. I should say Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Pardon me. I know what day it is at least. Today is Veterans Day. Great to have all of our students and members alike here just joining us inside our live trading room. Grant Farzad, Michael, Lawrence, all of us just joining here. Let me know if you got me here loud and clear. I ran into a bit of a tech issue yesterday, and oh man, knocking on some wood here. Hopefully we're good to go today at least. No webcam. Trying to test the waters without the webcam first. If you're joining us on social or inside our live trading room, Joyce, Rich, Kathleen, got Jan here, Roseanne, Albert, Bill, Alan, Pat, Sharon, all of us here joining us. Perfect. All right. Not Wednesday. Today is Tuesday, but today is Veterans Day. So first and foremost, happy Veterans Day, and thank you, an immense thank you, and I'm very appreciative, I should say, at the minimum, for anyone that has bravely and courageously served our proud nation, our beautiful nation here, United States of America. So that goes to anyone in any armed force branch of our military. So that goes across the board. So happy Veterans Day. I have a couple of buddies that were deployed or were at least doing different tours internationally. They didn't have to go into war, but they were stationed here and there. And either way, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're working inside a cubicle and you're doing Army Reserve, whatever it is. Thank you, because you're putting your life on the line, right? That's what comes first here today. So thank you again to anyone that's proudly served our country. Now, with that, I mean, hey, ALUR, this thing's trying to make a move right now. I'll tell you what, for today, this has not been the greatest of pre-markets. A couple stocks making moves here and there. I'm sure we're going to catch a couple good trades once the market opens up. Like, no doubt about that. There's no pessimism there. But it is to say the truth, though. Listen, when you're looking for a stock to break out and run, when you're looking to see a resistance flip into support and it doesn't, and you don't get that run, and none of the stocks that we're looking at are running, it makes for a bit of a grind over the last hour and a half. I mean, Lawrence, I know you're with us, pretty early in the mornings too, or, Grant or Leda or Kathleen, any one of us here at least, right? So even this ALUR, just even at like 8:30 in the morning, 8:45 in the morning, popped up pretty nicely. We were already pretty desperate for a trade then. Well, we were looking for resistance to flip into support, if not at that 216, 213-ish price right there. And at 198, I wrote that to you in the chat just before. I ended up making like barely any money on this trade. Got like probably 4 or 5 cents on the dollar on this trade, which I'll take it because I was down a lot. I had to average down on this position, get out, and then it dragged down again. I'm like, oh shit, I got to do this again, average down again. So I got stuck in that pullback around 8:50 in the morning when it was trying to flip resistance into support. Actually, I shouldn't say it was trying, when I wanted it to try to flip resistance into support. Now it seems like it might be trying to do so, but hey, we all know here inside our live trading room, let's wait up until the market open at this point before we hold into anything, before we just jump into random stock XYZ. There might be a much better trade on the horizon that we haven't even looked at yet that might be popping at 9 o'clock here. So I like it. We'll put this on our list if you want me to, because it's got a good order book. This thing is not one of those, QNRX stocks, if you know what I mean, from earlier on today. So, hey, if this fails to pop over 213, 215-ish area there, then I'm probably not going to jump in. But, for the time being, I'll give this a look. Now, the news out on this company, at least just to go into, I think that they had some FDA clearance on something, not legit approval, but they passed critical FDA milestones. They enter into a transaction to exchange all outstanding debt that would result in the company being debt-free. So at least that sounds like good news. Hopefully it leads to a better reaction, because damn, that was a tough one to be stuck in just earlier here. Big candles, big wicks. It looked like it was going to go lower. Thankfully, it actually held pretty much right off of yesterday's close, right off 174, and then made a bounce back up from there. But hopefully there's better trades that are trending better now near the highs, right? Now, with that, though, there were a bunch of trades that, trended well near the highs going into yesterday. So we'll cover a couple of those once more. The Rivian trade, I don't even know what to tell you at this point. This has just been a beast from the end of last week into this week. I think it was even back from Wednesday last week, even pushed up beautifully then. A couple of nice day trade bounces Thursday into Friday. Then obviously yesterday to start this week off, broke out beautifully. So, Yeah, I mean, for the time being, this has not only been a great day trade, but this has been a great swing trade too. Right now, it's not up or down a whole lot percentage wise. I'll come back to it certainly at the end of this meeting if it pops or if you want me to go back to it. Same to be said with Lyft. Lyft is kind of holding up even closer to yesterday's highs. This made a good push from Friday last week, held support pretty well, yesterday morning early on. And by noontime, it was breaking out higher. It made a great move at that point. So very similar, you could say, with the Rivian. Not only a great day trading stock, but has effectively been a pretty good swing trade. You could say that back from like early August, 14 up to 20, 3 and change. Pretty good move. Looks like finally, I keep forgetting, haha, my computer issue. All right, so it looks like the Rivian trade is finally going to look to run off this level here. Resistance back from even like 2022. I was holding beautifully underneath like 2150s, 2150-ish. And then just even last week, it ended up closing above that price just on the weekly chart. That's a pretty good sign. It was already chopping around it for a bit, which again is good as long as we keep with higher lows. Well, we kept with higher lows. We're pushing up higher now. So this is actually a really good swing trading pattern here, has been. And I could easily see more. Between the Rivian and the Lyft, I'd probably go Lyft. But let's go through some of the others. We had a great day yesterday to begin things here. So Palantir popped at the open, made a good bounce later on into the day. I think that's right near all-time highs again, right? Getting close, getting close. We got a big gap to fill, 207. I mean, so I don't know if it's going to make that sooner than later. It's down this morning about 1.5%, but for the time being, Palantir retains its volatility. We like volatility here, don't we? As long as it has good order book, good spread, and Palantir does for as expensive as it is, it actually does. SoFi definitely does. This has been one of the stronger swing trading charts this year. So we love SoFi, right? Again, kind of holding up its own this morning, almost break even, a little down. We'll come back to it if it makes a pop. Same thing with EOS here from Friday last week. I just got to show this chart from Friday. This is one of the cleaner trends that we've seen on a 1-minute chart all year, this whole calendar year. Really, I mean, you just can't ask for anything more. This ended up making a clean trend off of lows from around like 1450. Barely did it move off of it up until probably around like 2:20 in the afternoon. Not every stock is going to hold a straight trend line forever like that, right? So that's just where this is like pretty impressive. Ended up doing that for the most part. And then once again yesterday, right? So we love the EOS trade, just down a little bit this morning. That's all. We'll come back to it when we need to. MP pushed up yesterday. Open, we like open whenever it's moving, whenever it's on the gainers list, whenever it's trending up at least before the market opens. We'll be a fan of it. Now, we've been calling out XPEV as a swing trade. 1 second here. What happened here? There we go. Just freaked me out for a second. XPEV, we've been calling out as a potential swing trade, just setting up to break above the highs back from August, September, October. And it did so yesterday, right around like $24, $25. That could be a great swing, not just from yesterday, but could be on the pullback to see resistance flip into support. All right, so again, this one's actually up a little bit this morning. I don't mind featuring this for right now. I'll kind of slip this on the list with the ALUR. We're going to run the gainers list in just a moment, see what else looks even better. Last one that I have for you, though, this was a short. We did great on this yesterday. I mean, we've been killing shorts, quite frankly, from last week between the U trade, the Penn trade. I thought there was one more even mixed in between, if I'm not mistaken. But then, the Oscar from yesterday broke down beautifully, pulled back below 1550, then eventually made the cleaner re-break and flip of support into resistance off $15. So this was a great move just coming off the news that came out from yesterday with Oscar. I think they're launching some program. Didn't get great reception from the street, obviously with the whole shutdown thing pertaining to the healthcare sector and healthcare policies, whatnot. Trying to sound as if I even know anything of what I'm talking about there. No, but seriously, clearly Oscar took a huge hit over the weekend into yesterday pre-market. That's the whole reason we put it on the morning list, let alone the afternoon watch list going into the close. So I don't mind, coming back to this again if we need to. If it breaks down even more at the open, let's just go through everything else though first. It's nice to cherry pick from yesterday. Any of the ones that are holding pretty good here, popping up even more, we add. But we want to go through the gainers list here mainly. So QNRX, man, this QNRX trade was pretty damn shaky early on this morning. Let me just show you this here. All right, so we had a resistance around 14, big volume level at least from there, but it was dumping off before the meeting started. Looks like it tried to re-crack it a couple times here. Perhaps it could be setting up for a better pop going into the market open or afterwards. Real quick, folks, for all of us here inside our live trading room, just briefly for me here, and test your trivia here, your memory. What was the stock yesterday that we traded that actually we didn't even trade? We had it on our list, but it was such a loser. It immediately just dumped off, and it just wasn't worth our time throughout the morning. Do you recall that one? It was the shiny object in the room. It was the one that had the crazy spread and it was up the most, and it was just a giant distraction. It was a waste of time. Made money on easier looking trades. It was the move stock, Barbara. Absolutely. Good memory there. And hey, did it pop later on in the morning? Yeah. But going into the open from the pre-market, this was like the shiny object in the room. Like, ooh, it popped. All right. Well, this had such few orders out there, such tiny orders out there alike, that you can't really trust it. So it eventually moved up around 11 o'clock in the morning. But hey, we made money from 9:30 to 10:30. Then we came back to this trade. But even as such, it just popped up then and then pulled back. That was it. It was game over. So going back to that other one there, hey, it's kind of the shiny object in the room, the QNRX. If you want me to add it to our watch list, I'll add it to the back end. But let's see if there's anything looking even better. ENGN was, I think, on our list this morning, if I'm not mistaken, early. If not our list, it popped up just after 8 o'clock. Just went nowhere, though, after. So just consolidated, dumped back down. CYCU all throughout pre-market this morning kept dumping off. Maybe now might be starting to get a little action here. Order book's not bad for pre-market. I'm assuming that's going to fill in after the open. We'll add it. We'll add it. CYCU. We're hopeful here, folks. I always tell you I never jump into a trade solely because of hope. But it's nice to have hope. So if you want any of these stocks to move, I'm going to be rooting on that CYCU. Hopefully you can get a good pop for us there. Body, BODY, Beach Body, Corp or whatever. Again, same thing. Pop, drop. Maybe now it's starting to get a little move back up again. But comparing one to the other, this one looks a lot skimpier, the order book. Now, the BBAI was the most interesting trade from yesterday after hours into this morning. Didn't really make a great day trading move for us this morning. A little bounce here and there. So if you caught it, congrats, because really slow moving trade, but it actually gave you a little, 20, 25 cents worth if you got in from around 660. But otherwise, though, hopefully this will set up for a better trade after the opening bell. I love the BBAI trade. Did really well on BBAI actually a couple months back, the politician trade, right? KLTR, PLTR's cousin, thing chopping around a bit. Getting a lot of chop this morning. VSIG popped up early, dumped back down early. Xena didn't really go anywhere. Now the Rigetti trade is down, RGTI, so you're going to get RGTZ, the inverse ETF, moving up. So I'm going to put both on our list just because, right? It's a stock that we do normally very well on the upside. Could be a great short today. And if you don't want to trade the short, then you could trade the ETF going up, the inverse ETF going up. Man, there is garbage out there this morning here, guys. There's not much out there. Hopefully we can get a last second pop or at least something happening after the opening bell. But starting to stick with our list here as always, right? When the market opens up, we'll keep to our list at first. VOR's tanking. This thing took a huge hit overnight. I can't short it, but maybe that could be worth the time later on as dead cat bounce. There it is. Trying to find the actual stock there. CoreWeave took a big hit overnight. So there are some ETFs to go with it. Guys, not really a great morning so far looking at the gainers or losers list even. CLSK is down a bit. I could add that with the Rigetti as a short. Would they report their earnings too? They got crushed in the after hours right away. So CLSK I'll add. That actually looks pretty decent as a short. What's the market doing right now? Are we like on here? I mean, like we alluded to this a bit, but I didn't think it would be this dry this morning. Like even Friday, at the end of last week, I was alluding to this just for everyone here. Hey, we have Veterans Day, might be slow up until then. We also have the CPI report on Thursday. People might be waiting until that. But with the whole government shutdown ending officially, I believe now, you would figure that would inject even more volatility into the market, mainly good. But we're just as flat could be, right? That's not terrible at all. But we actually have nothing really looking great from the gainers or losers list. We have a list, but anything else is looking good, folks? Up, down, left, right, more than 5%. You let me know right now. Jazz, Kate, Barbara, Alan, Shaffin, Jim here. It's like something took a fly swatter to it. What are you saying, like the market? Yeah. Well, just like the whole gainers and losers list right there. Or unless if you're referring to this one chart, this kind of looks like, you took a fly swatter to something. But otherwise, folks, let me know if anything else is looking good here across the board. Warren says OKLO earnings after the market today. Yeah, that's right. Good point, Warren. We brought that up yesterday. I just want to bring this back up one more time if I can. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Give me a sec here, Warren. You reminded me the one thing I forgot to do this morning is break out yield earnings calendar, right? So you were absolutely correct. We do have the OKLO earnings coming out later on today. We had a bunch of earnings from yesterday, in fact. So we'll get to those in a bit. Here, just give me a sec. I'll pull this up directly from our good friends over at Earnings Whisperer. Here we go. Appreciate you, Warren. Thank you. So Rigetti, CoreWeave, Big Bear, we talked about already. But there was also Rocket Lab. It wasn't really going anywhere in pre-market. We kind of skimmed that chart briefly. We also have ASTS and Wolf from yesterday and Plug. So how are those even doing? This went nowhere. This went nowhere. And this went nowhere. All right. So that's lovely. This morning, what do we got today? NBIS. SE, not really as much from this morning. That's all right. But yeah, afternoon Warren, you got your OKLO, we got Beyond Meat. If anyone wants to claim fake meat as their stock, that's for you. That's not for me, but that's for you. Beyond Meat, OKLO, Light Path. Anything else here? Yeah, so the main one's going to be OKLO. Main one's going to be OKLO, Warren. I'm a red meat guy through and through. NBIS popped a little bit. SE, a little expensive, popped up a little bit. We'll pass on both for now. All right, folks. Hey, I think that'll just about do it here. So for all of us just joining us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc., just make sure to subscribe right to our YouTube or social media alike. We're at Cyber Trading U, not just on YouTube, but also on X, on Twitter, whatever you want to call that one there. But otherwise, you could just join us on social. We stream live each and every morning and afternoon, 9 o'clock Eastern, 2:30 Eastern, going into the afternoon session. But then from there, though, at least you'll have Fausto back on tomorrow, I believe. I believe he'll be back tomorrow. But if not, you'll get me for one more day. Now, hey, if you wanted to take the next steps and join us inside our live trading room now, just kind of skip the queue and join us directly there. We have about 112 of us joining us here right now inside our live trading room. Michael, Kath, Jim, Leda, Andrea, all of us here. Just right now, I'm going to just look at a couple comments as I wrap up there, Kath. Just join us by going down to the link scrolling down on the banner below in blue, ctu.co/trial. That's if you're on X, if you're on YouTube, if you're on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever we are streaming on the socials. If you see that blue banner below there, just join us by going directly to our live trading room, ctu.co/trial. And you can also scan this QR code while you're at it. Scan that QR code. That'll take you basically to the same page. Now, Kathleen, what do we got here? NRGV. It's up 15%. So I like the fact it's up a lot, Kath, but just really, really spotty, low volume graph right now. So wouldn't be surprised if you hear me call this out a little after the market opens, once we go through our watch list at first. But, I appreciate the shout. I didn't really run into this on the gainer side. It's probably because of the volume, but, we'll come back to it if we need to. Probably sound like a broken record player saying that about like 20 times over this morning, but it's true. A lot of these stocks from yesterday, if they want to prove themselves to us, if they want to prove something to us throughout the day, we'll see it. And then when that happens, we'll give it more respect and then we'll call it out from there. But otherwise, we have a decent list to work with here, folks. So hey, join us inside our live trading room. We're going to go the full next hour of live audio commentary, live audio, and screen sharing as well. But otherwise, we'll be back later on today at 2:30 Eastern just for the afternoon meeting. And then for all of us who are just joining us, give me a quick second. We'll be back on just shortly after the opening bell. Take care.